Hey, we're here at Showtime Strength Performance with the one and only Nick Showman.
All right, so we're going to talk about setting up on the bench press and taking a hand, all right? Because it drives me nuts. Every meet we have here, there's one person that I've never seen lift weights before at all, and they go, "Can you hand out to me on the platform?" I'm like, I guess.
Yeah. There's always certain steps you want to take before you even work with somebody. Say, hey, I'm going to take my breath on the 3 count or the 2, or we're going to go, hey, 1, 2, lift on 3. So today, I'll say, hey, let's go 3, 2, 1, and we'll lift on 1, and we'll come out. So you want to have verbiage with whoever's handing off you, even if it's a first-time lifter or your first-time handoff guy. You want to make sure that you're both on the same page. Otherwise, you're going to look real funny when the guy doesn't either A, pick the bench up when you want it, or he drops it into your hands when you also don't want it.
When even when I was competing and Josh would be handing out, he could tell by the way my chest was raised and when I took my last air. That was his, when I took my air, that's when pressure went into the bar. So developing a system, a rhythm is number one.
And then, so in a previous video, we talked about how to push back on the bench, how to actually use leg drive, and how to keep your whole body tight. Now, before we go through this, now that we got our body tight, we're also going to need to get our upper back locked in and our elbows in position so I can take the hand out appropriately. So, as I turn aside, Nick's going to show on how you actually want your back to get tight.
Yeah, so a lot of people will elevate.
A lot of people will squeeze up into the tracks.
But when you do that, I can feel looseness here in Bruce's lats. So now, if we pull that down.
If you squeeze back and then down.
Yeah, you can literally feel the difference and see the difference of how much wider he is. And the wider your lats are, the more room, the more space you have to load in. So now when he goes to break those elbows back like a bench, it's right there. Instead of being here and this being loose, now he's literally just using all lats to lower that weight, which is taking stress off the pecs, taking stress off the front delt. Your front delts are not that strong.
So biggest takeaway, so when we're going to hand out, we're going to say, hey, we're going to go 3, 2, and lift on 1 or whatever. And then it's when he takes the bar out, I want to make sure my arms are fully extended. So always make sure your arms are fully extended as they're coming out, because you can rotate your arms down into position. If you don't have your elbows locked immediately as he takes that bar out to you, the bench no longer goes into your back. It then goes into your pec, into your shoulder, and over time that is going to cause injury, wear and tear, and you're just not going to be able to lift as much. And then I only want to bring up that is, take your time setting up. There is no rush. Nobody ever cared how long it took for you to get into position. Make sure you're tight, make sure everything's how you want it to be before you take the hand out. Because I guarantee once you take the hand out, it's too late.
So you said 3, 2, 1?
Yep.
Now you'll see, when he starts his descent, it's a straight line. So go ahead and break the bar. Straight down, back up, straight. All right, so now if he shortchanges his hand out, so just don't take it out. We're gonna take it high. So out, and like there, now take it down. Now that bar is gonna float all over back and forth trying to find the right position, because if he takes it down too high, it's all on his front delt, all his pecs.
And then I'll do one without my back actually tight. This is, I don't know if I can do this.
It's weird. Yeah, so see how flat he is, not elevated, and then go down. And you'll see the elbows actually kick out because nothing is actually flexed. And he's lower. He's horrible. And as you can tell from his commentary, it's not very comfortable because you're taking all your strong muscles out, placing stress on all the muscles you don't want stress when lifting maximal weights.
And when you take it out, always take a second before you go. I know there's not always a start command with benching. However, with heavier weight, I am gonna sink into this pad. So, I'm only pushing into this slightly and you will sink. So just imagine as a 300-pound human being, or once was, and you put 900 pounds plus into your hands, your body has to sink into the bench, into the pad, and become one with the bench before you decide to bench. Otherwise, you're gonna be all over the place. You're gonna have that lack of stability, and it comes down to I hope I get this bench instead of a down and up.
Yeah, if you ever see anybody in a meet bringing a bar down and they almost look like they're gonna fall off the bench, they never got set up, so their lift was doomed from the start. And like Bruce said, now they're fingers crossed hoping that they get the lift instead of looking very confident and handling the weight and being successful with the lift. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below.